Now, as we all know and even played, Call of Duty for the first time had a zombies beta with Black Ops 7. And in the past, this is something that I was very much against. And to really boil it down in the simplest terms, I just didn't want it because I thought it would spoil the overall experience of the launch. Because when a map launches, you just want to experience everything about the game, every aspect about it, and just learn it all in one go. And based on what you want to do, you go do that. And that spoils some of it, and I think that's been proven true already. But some people may just not care about that, and that's completely fine. But still, things with the zombies beta were worse than I even could imagine. And I initially wasn't going to talk about any of these things that happened with this beta because they were still out there, but to my knowledge and from what I've seen, I think they've all been taken down. So now I feel more comfortable talking about it, where people can just go easily look these things up anymore. But unfortunately, what absolutely was the worst thing about this beta has nothing to do with the game spoiling or anything like that. Well, kind of spoiling actually. And that is the fact that Treyarch should have knew, because they put a zombies beta that is in a map that has the entirety of Ashes of the Dam loaded into it. People were going to be able to get into the files and discover things they really shouldn't have, at least for a long time now. And I really mean a lot of major things were spoiled here. And I'm not going to say what they are in this because I didn't even want these things spoiled for me. And thankfully, I was at least able to avoid one of the biggest things. But some of the biggest things that were spoiled have to do with the main Easter egg. And it's incredibly annoying because when people were able to get into the files of the map, especially in areas that we may have had access to even in this beta, people were able to get the files of these things and even the textures of them, and they could see how they look in game and compare that to what they see in the game. They could see that, oh wait, this thing is going to have something to do with something. It's going to be activated in a specific way. Or they'll go to entire areas of the map that we weren't supposed to be in, whether that's Lakewood, the Ascension area, or even the spawn room, finding things in and outside the map that obviously are going to be important for the Easter egg. They're going to have something to do with the main Easter egg, and all of that has been spoiled for all these players. And it's more than just being spoiled, because if you're trying to avoid these spoilers like I was, but still for some reason people on Twitter decide they just want to reshare things without spoiler tags, which is so frustrating. You got a lot of unfollows for doing dumb stuff like that. But when you do stuff like that, you're spoiling it, and for the people who do see it, now they have an unfair advantage come launch, because now they know where to be looking for Easter egg steps. They know at least 3 or 4 major Easter egg steps that are going to have something to do with something, so they know where to look for that stuff. And that's not fair. That's not right. That shouldn't be happening. That is ridiculous. Like, come on, it's so unfair. And you could say, for people who aren't, like, if you want to have a fair advantage with everyone else, go look at the leaks yourself. Well, now go do that yourself, because they've all been copyright strikes. So now you can't even do that now. So if you didn't catch them earlier enough, now you are just gonna be left behind. People aren't going to know about these things, and now everyone has an unfair advantage over you, which is so stupid. And I hate that so freaking much for the game. That is so dumb. And as annoying as all that really is, it's even worse because for some godforsaken reason, these people are just so stupid. Like, I don't understand these people who leak things like this, but they decide to get into the files and find quotes for the game. And not only do they find Easter egg quotes, which are now spoiling some steps of the Easter egg, or at least giving you unfair hints at the Easter eggs, which, to be clear, I didn't see these. So a lot of people have a big advantage over me here with this one, because now they're hearing those Easter egg hint quotes that we always get in every map, that they're saying certain things, implying certain things. Hey, there might be something here. And now people know that, and now they have an unfair advantage over everybody else because they know about those before everyone else. They know where they're going to be looking before everyone else, because they're able to see that. They're going to see, like, oh, this person did Easter egg stuff and said this. That might imply it has something to do with, just for example, let's just say, you know, something in the spawn room or in the farm area, like something like that. Now they have like a whole unfair advantage, and it's disgusting, bro. This is stupid. And if you think that is bad, the worst of the worst is the dumbest people out there. I know they said the people who leaked those other things were the dumbest people, but this one's even worse, because people were able to not only get the quotes for actually doing Easter egg steps, but they were able to get the transcripts for the ending cutscene, and they leaked that. Like, bro, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, why would you even talk about it? And I see people upload videos discussing stuff like that. It's like, why are you doing that? And that's literally the reason why I decided to make this video in the end, because like, why are you even acknowledging that? Like, as a content creator, like, why would you do that? Like, what value does that do to anybody to spread stuff like that? And maybe I didn't watch the video because I didn't want to spoil myself, so maybe the video isn't as bad and it's just maybe trying to warn people and it's like clickbait or something like that, and I hope that's what it is. But it's just like, bro, it's so bad. Like, as a leaker, like, why would you even leak that? What value does that bring to anybody? Like, leaking story stuff is ridiculous, and I hate that so freaking much. Like, bro, why? It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. And you know how you could have easily avoided all of these leaks was by not dropping a zombies beta. You could have dropped the zombies beta and none of this would have happened. You wouldn't be able to have people go into the files or just fly around the map and get to accessing areas that they're not supposed to and find hidden rooms and find hidden things, find hidden textures. That wouldn't have happened. That would not have happened. I don't care what anybody says. And you know how I know it wouldn't have happened? Because it didn't happen with Black Ops 6. It didn't happen with Cold War. It didn't happen with Black Ops 4, and it didn't happen with Black Ops 3. All those games had multiplayer betas and did not have leaks like this because it didn't have a zombies beta. There was no Easter egg quotes leaked. There was no ending cutscenes transcripts leaked. There were no textures or Easter egg steps leaked. There was nothing like that. But now that they added the zombies beta, all of that's leaked before launch. And now so many people have an unfair advantage in the Easter egg hunt, and more importantly, so many people have just a bunch of story information leaked. And now when you hear anybody talking about the story, there's just a little grain of salt, because did you think of that theory yourself, or did you listen to the leaks? Like, if I make a video about it and all of a sudden I happen to be right for once in my life, people are going to watch that video, it's like, this guy just watched the leaks, that's all he did. Like, come on, bro, it's so freaking dumb. It ruins so much of the story, and especially in a game like Black Ops 7 that really needs a bounce back with its story after what happened in Black Ops 6. Bro, I don't know, it just needs that. It just sucks so freaking bad. And this is why I will always be strongly against zombies betas, even more so. And I hope they never do this again, because already I'm against the idea fundamentally, because zombies is a launch thing. It should only be there for launch. All you do is just spoil things for the launch when you're doing things with the beta. But on top of that, you have to know people are going to get the files. Like, you just have to know that. I mean, you could say Call of Duty should be better at locking their files or whatever, but I mean, ask any developer ever to do that. For some reason, none of them could do it. So if you already know that it's practically impossible to stop these data miners from getting into your game, then just don't put a zombies beta in, because that's ridiculous, bro. Because, like, all that happens now is that we go from the leaks that we used to have. When a beta dropped, like for Cold War, we did have some zombie leaks. I think the perks were leaked, and also the DLC names, or the at least in file names of them, were leaked too. Same thing happens Black Ops 6, but that's not on the level of all this stuff. That's not textures for the Easter eggs. That's not how the map changes through the Easter egg. That's not different Easter egg steps. That's not quotes for the Easter eggs, and that's not a freaking ending cutscene. That does not happen. But I don't know, bro. It just sucks. It just freaking sucks. And I hate this for the game, because I'm really excited for Black Ops 7. I love Black Ops 6 outside of its a story and a couple of them in like Liberty Falls and the Tomb. But besides that, it was an amazing game. I'm really looking forward to Black Ops 7. But stuff like that just annoys me so freaking much to no end. And I hate it so much for the game, because it just ruins it. And I don't understand why people do it. I don't understand. Especially story stuff. Like, I don't know. But the final thing I'll say about this is just kind of something I've always kind of thought about in the back of my head with stuff like this. And I've always wondered if there's been data miners who work with certain people, and you know, they know certain things and they don't share it with everybody, but they share it with some people. And it's always kind of curious that some people are able to figure out things about maps and things about the story before everyone else is. And I've always wondered that, because you know, if this is what's happening in the opening in the open for the beta, what happens when someone hires a data miner to go into the files for them and able to find maybe some Easter eggs, maybe some side Easter egg steps, and they get to claim that now they're first in the world who discovered that Easter egg step, or maybe they found some of their files to do with the story and now they have that unique information and they could talk about it and make theories about it when they really know what's going on. Because I've had my suspicions for a long time now that something's been going on with certain people and things, but I don't know. This just makes me a bit more suspicious. I'm not saying it happens, but I don't know. It just gets a bit more suspicious now when I see stuff like this. But regardless, though, just wanted to throw a little conspiracy there at the end too. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm still very excited for the game. I just hate that this happened for the game, and I just want to tell Treyarch, never do this again. We do not need a Zombies beta ever again. Thank you very much. But regardless, so that's going out for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.